The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The International Criminal Court temporarily suspends its investigation into the country's war on drugs. The ICC says it will assess the deferral request of the Philippine government on the probe. The Philippines appealed to ICC prosecutor Karim Khan to defer investigations on the alleged crimes against humanity committed in relation to the government's drug war. Philippine ambassador to the Netherlands, Eduardo Malaya, told Khan the Philippine judicial system remains alive and well, as the government itself investigates the killings related to the war on drugs. And despite this, prosecution will continue to gather information while assessing the need for applications to the pretrial chamber to conduct necessary investigative steps to preserve evidence. A political analyst believes President Duterte's public denouncement of Bongbong Marcos is very real. Speaking on the big story, political analyst Jean Franco said that the president would not have openly criticized Marcos if he thought that there was still a possibility of an alliance.
The president is actually showing that he's really not interested in being allies with the camp of Bongbong Marcos. That's what I sense. No, otherwise he would not have made such huge accusation against the presidential aspirant.
Franco also said that President Duterte may possibly become a, quote, headache throughout Marcos's campaign if he continues his tirades against the presidential aspirant.
I think he will be a headache in Bongbong Marcos' campaign until May 2022.
Meanwhile, another political analyst raises suspicions on President Duterte's criticisms against Bongbong Marcos. In an interview with the Chiefs, Professor Antonio Contreras said that the president's recent stance on Marcos may be a plan to prime the presidential aspirant against criticism. Contreras believes that Duterte criticized Marcos because it would be better for him to pick on his daughter's running mate instead of the opposition.
Siguro ang battle plan nila is to protect BBM and Sara by coming out with this slime, because when you slime a candidate too early in the campaign and it doesn't stick, then that issue is gone. Pag isiniraan mo isang tao na maaga,
binabakunahan.
Wala na.
However, Contreras warns that Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte may be at risk due to her father's criticisms of Marcos Jr. The expert explained that Marcos loyalists may get back at Sara after the chief executive lambasted their presidential bet.
Nababasa ko rin kasi sa narrative na there is this effort to protect Sara as well, to differentiate Sara from the father. And maybe that is why the script is to make them mag-away sila, yung mag-ama. Di ba? Kasi pwedeng ma-insulate, ma-protect si Sara na sabihin, mag-away naman ng ama niya, yung ama naman na may problema lang kasi si Bongo naman talaga ang kanyang pinoprotektahan.
Lawmakers are presenting conflicting viewpoints when it comes to the allowance of operations of online sabong or e-sabong. This as PAGCOR eyes to license at least 6 e-sabong operators. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez has the details.
Lawmakers continue to clash over the issue of legalizing online cockfighting or e-sabong. The House Ways and Means Committee earlier granted Visayas Cockers Club a 25-year franchise to operate betting stations anywhere in the country. They will also be able to broadcast the cockfights live.
Maganda na lang na ma-regulate siya para legal naman yung nabibigay nitong livelihood.
Committee Chair Representative Joey Salceda estimated that the government could earn around 8 billion pesos every year from it. But the other issue raised about e-sabong was that only the wealthy can afford to apply for a franchise. Indeed, as per PAGCOR's rules, operators must be able to cough up a 75 million peso performance bond.
Talagang kumikita dyan yung korporasyon. Hindi talaga kumikita gobyerno dyan. Putting up derbies like that is too much.
This is why former Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol is pushing for in-person sabong to be reopened. Piñol says the whole industry has suffered because of the lockdowns, from the cockpit workers to the breeders to the small businesses selling animal feeds.
Yung bilang ng mga manok na pansabong, mga 40 million, no? Presyo mo na lang ng 5,000, that's 200 billion. Manok pa lang yun. Diba kasama ang feeds, yung sweldo ng tao.
Piñol likewise warned about the impact of isabong on families stuck at home.
Actually, it's open to the access of even youngsters. Pati yung mga OFWs actually are suffering because of this non-stop sabong.
Visayas Crackers Club will be operating under the brand Sabong International, which in turn is linked to former Negros Occidental representative Albi Benitez. The other firm given a 25-year franchise is Lucky 8 Star Quest, which is allegedly owned by longtime gaming tycoon Charlie Atong Ang. Pagcor has said it wants to license at least 6 isabong operators. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, WR1 News.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lehana. U.S. President Joe Biden says he will stand by the jury's decision to acquit teenage shooter Kyle Rittenhouse. Biden had earlier linked the teenager to white supremacists. Said that along with many Americans, he feels angry and concerned over the verdict. But he's now saying that the jury's decision must be respected.
I stand by what the jury has concluded. The jury system works and we have to abide by it.
Europe is battling another wave of COVID-19 infections, and with this, countries are fast-tracking vaccination and administering booster shots to its citizens to cope with the recent surge. More details in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
Hi there, this is Fred from the Netherlands. And this mask is something that we thought we would not have to wear again to go into the supermarket, but we now have to because the numbers have been rising dramatically in the Netherlands with 15,000, 16,000 on the daily rates. COVID patients are and were filling up the hospitals. And we're back to square one with a partial lockdown effective since last Saturday, and it will last until December 3rd, which means masks into supermarkets, public transport, keep your distance, you can't invite more than 4 people at your home.
This is Jonathan Tyrone with Bloomberg News. I'm walking up the so-called vaccination road in Vienna. This is where people come. It's the largest vaccination facility in Austria's capital. It's quite busy right now. It's filled with people who are coming to get their first, second, and also booster shots. The decision a couple of days ago to lock down people who have not received vaccination has resulted in an upsurge, an apparent upsurge, of those looking to get back out into society, be able to participate in things like their cultural activities, theaters, gyms, retail shops, Christmas markets. You need to be vaccinated to do that now in Austria.
Italy is experiencing a surge in the number of daily COVID-19 cases, which passed 10,000 yesterday for the first time since last May. The Italian government is looking at ways to make sure that the number of cases will remain under control. New measures include making compulsory a vaccine booster to all medical staff and also favoring the increase of the use of masks indoor.
Here in the UK, coronavirus cases have remained broadly flat over the last few weeks, as have hospitalisations, although the caseloads are still relatively high. And Prime Minister Boris Johnson held a press conference this week warning Britons not to be complacent, and notably did not rule out a Christmas lockdown, although that is seen as highly unlikely. He's warned about this new wave sweeping Europe, but actually some scientists think that the UK is ahead of that wave. The message from Boris Johnson is, get your boosters, get your vaccinations, and avoid another wave of restrictions in the UK.
Hi, I'm Dara. Welcome to Dublin. 3 months ago, Ireland was ranked the best country in the world for dealing with COVID. Now, today, cases are surging again. Have hit a 9-month high. So yesterday, the government came with new restrictions. 2 key changes. First of all, we've all been told to work from home again. And second, bars and restaurants will close at midnight once again. So it looks like a pretty grim Christmas ahead.
Here in the Czech Republic, we are seeing record numbers of new COVID cases, and the government has decided to target people who are refusing to get vaccinated. So from Monday, they won't be able to go to concerts or have a beer in their favorite pub. The purpose of this is to increase the vaccination rate, which is about 60%, and that's below levels in Western Europe. There are some 2.5 million people who will be affected by this.
Time now for a quick look at today's other top stories. Metro Manila mayors failed to reach a policy consensus on allowing children below 12 years old outside their homes. Face shields aren't yet considered a thing of the past, as private establishments may still require these within their premises. And fully vaccinated tourists may soon be allowed back into the Philippines, starting with those from green countries. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 10:15 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.